Katelyn and welcome to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be doing my first ever tag. This specific tag is like a book taste tag, and it was created by mynameismarines and Thoughts on Tomes, or Mari and Sam. The tag was started in March of this year, and they said that anyone could do it if they wanted, so that's what I'll be doing today. I'll make sure to have all the questions in the description below so you can kind of follow along. Question number 1 is, how do you rate books? Give a quick rundown of how you do your star ratings. I have a couple of things that I will generally rate my books off of, like 3-ish. 1 is how well I think the story flows. Like if it's too choppy, or if I feel it jumps really quickly from the start of a problem to the end of a problem, or like there's something almost missing in the plot, then I probably won't rate it super high. 2, if it had me eager to turn the page, because if I was not really reaching for it a lot, then I probably won't give it a super high rating. And number 3, if there's a plot twist, this is normally with like mystery or thriller books, if I saw that twist coming, because I don't mean this in like a demeaning way to myself, but it's gonna come off that way. I generally am not very good at like calling those types of plot twists in books or movies or shows or whatever. So if I'm able to call the plot twist, I immediately kind of just think that it wasn't written very well. And maybe that says more about me than it does about the author, but I digress. Question number 2 is, how do you approach reviewing books? What's your review style? Are you analytical, emotional, casual, or structured? I would say that I tend to be like a mix of emotional and casual. Emotional in the sense that I definitely want to like convey how the book made me feel, whether it's a good feeling or a bad feeling, but casual in the sense that I will generally only write a couple of sentences, like tops, for a review, unless I was really into the book and absolutely loved it, in which case I might write like 4 or 5 sentences. Question number 3 is, what's the book that made you a reader? Whether it was your first favorite or the one that got you hooked, what book started it all? This is actually kind of an interesting question because I was never really much of a reader growing up. I had a couple of books that I really liked. The Thea Stilton series was really important to me and shaped me into the woman I am today. But even then, I wasn't like deeply obsessed with it, and it wasn't really what got me on my way to reading. I would say that would be the Selection series by Kira Cass. I honestly don't remember when exactly I read those books, but I was so into it and loved it so much and just wanted to keep reading after that. And admittedly, during high school, it was kind of hard for me to be like interested in reading books sometimes, because I almost felt like I didn't want to read because I was reading for school or any mixture of things, right? I was just busy. But that was definitely like the first series that stood out to me as like, oh, writing can be like really good. Like reading can be fun. Question number 4 is, do you have a genre niche? Are there certain genres you gravitate towards, or do you read widely across genres? I would definitely say that I gravitate mostly towards like romance books. But I also would like to think that I'm pretty much open to all genres. I have read fantasy and mystery and thriller and memoirs and like dystopian, and I have loved all of those genres. So really, as long as it's like well written and like has good characters, then I'll probably enjoy it. Question number 5 is, do you generally prefer character-driven or plot-driven stories? This one is a hard question because honestly, I think it really depends on the author. But for the most part, I'd say that I'm like somewhere in the middle, and I wrote down vibe driven. I don't know, just the vibe a book gives me will either completely throw me off of it and make me not want to even finish it, or I will be so invested. So I think, you know, kind of like a mixture of both in a sense. Question number 6 is, what's a book you love so much that you don't care if others don't like it? What's that one book you love enough for everyone? And for this one, I've actually talked about this before, but I literally love Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. And I know that that's kind of a hot take because I feel like a lot of booktubers and book talkers don't really like Icebreaker, and I guess that's like fine. It's a pretty long book, and I can understand where people might be coming from in the sense that it's like kind of drawn out, but I really loved it. I thought the characters were great. I thought the plot was so interesting, and kind of tying into the last question, the vibe was great. I had a great time reading that book, and I can completely understand and like talk to someone that doesn't like it, but I also really think that it's important to not like talk in someone's face about their favorite book and how much you hate it. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like someone's like favorite book, that's totally chill. You can just be like, oh, I didn't really like that book. But to look at someone in the face and be like, that's your favorite book? That book is horrible. How could you like it? It was so bad. Just stop. That's just mean and cruel and like unnecessary. Just say, oh, I don't like that book very much, and move on. Sorry, I don't know where that rant just came from. Next question. Number 7 is, what's a book you love so much that if someone doesn't like it, you know your reading tastes don't align? The book or books where a difference of opinion is a strong indicator of different reading preferences. I would say the series for me is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. And I actually haven't even really met someone that doesn't like that series because, hello, it's The Hunger Games, it's great. But I feel like if I was to meet someone that didn't like The Hunger Games, I just like probably wouldn't be able to get behind any of their other reading takes. Because truthfully, the Hunger Games series, like the movies and the books, are just so like essential and important to like our generation, and it's weirdly and kind of horrifyingly reflective of like society as a whole. So I think that if you like don't get the Hunger Games, then I just can't have a conversation with you, honestly. Now, that's not to say that if people haven't read it, I don't want to talk to them, because I didn't read it until I was like 19 or 20. I like didn't even watch the movies until around that time. So if you haven't read it yet, that's like a different thing. I totally get it. But if you hate the Hunger Games, don't talk to me. And I mean that. Question number 8 is, what's in your trash pocket? What are some books, tropes, or themes that you know are bad, but you love them anyway? I think a couple of these are gonna be kind of hot takes, and I guess that's the whole point, but I think I like age gap romances a little more than I probably should. And I haven't read really an age gap romance where it's like a huge age gap. I think the most has been like 10 years difference. But I honestly, it's like a guilty pleasure of mine, truthfully. And another guilty pleasure trope that I, before reading the trope, had thought I would never like, but after reading it, actually kind of found out that I enjoyed it. The surprise pregnancy trope. And I know that that's gonna be a little crazy, for a lot of people, especially like even from me, because like I hate the idea of being pregnant, and I'm just so, I don't want that for myself. But something about reading it in like a romance book is like, it's fun. I enjoy it. I truthfully do. Like, I have a good time. Question number 9 is, do you have any deal breakers in books? Something that, if present, immediately turns you off from a book. Yes, I definitely do. And there's one really big one that I thought of immediately when I saw this question. I'm sure there's some like more nitpicky ones that I could think of, but the one that really stands out to me and that I don't want to read in a book ever is like glorification or any romanticizing of abuse, specifically like physical abuse. Now, I do think there's a big difference between it being like the past of a main character or like something that they're struggling with and like trying to get away from. But the difference is like if the author glorifies that, like if they make abuse seem like it's supposed to be love. That's a huge no for me. I do not mess around about that because just no. Just no. Question number 10 is, what's a strong opinion you have about a book released within the last year? Whether it's overrated, underrated, or just a take you need to share. I need more people to be talking about Wings of Starlight by Allison Saft. It's the book that is based on a couple of characters from the Disney Fairies series. And I literally have no one to talk about it with. Like, I read that book a couple of months ago, or maybe last month. I read it recently and I loved it so much. It is so good. It was so sweet. It was so heartbreaking. I just need everyone to read it so I can like have more people to talk about it with. Question number 11 is, what do you look for in writing? What makes a book stand out to you? Is it prose, style, themes, voice, structure, or something else? I wouldn't say that there's like a specific literary element that I look for in books that like really draws me in. I was never really into like that specific kind of stuff, but as long as it's like well written and has like good characters, then I can probably enjoy it and get into it. Question number 12 is, how do you decide what to read next? Do you plan ahead, mood read, or follow external factors? I'll typically have a couple of books that I am wanting to read in the near future kind of set aside, but for the most part, I will just mood read. Question number 13 is, where do you get inspiration for your booktube content? What sparks your video ideas? Other creators, trends, personal reading experiences? I would say that I get most of my like content ideas for book videos from other booktubers. People like Haley Pham, Cassie's Books, Gen Z Reads. Those three I am subscribed to and watch their videos pretty frequently, and I have actually gotten a lot of ideas from Haley Pham specifically. Question number 14 is, if you could make any book go viral right now, what would it be? A book you think deserves more attention and why? I'd say that this book that I'm about to recommend is technically already viral, but I feel like it was kind of short-lived and that more people, specifically women, need to read it, and that would be Loud, Accept Nothing Less Than the Life You Deserve by Drew F. Wallow. That book was so good. I absolutely loved it. It really helped me with like self-love and self-worth. And I don't know, I just think Drew is such an incredible woman and someone that I like really look up to. So if I could get every woman in the world to read that book and like fully understand it, that would be the dream. And the last question is, who are some booktubers with reading tastes similar to yours? Like I said a couple of questions ago, I'm only like really frequently watching like 3 booktubers, but I would say that out of those 3, the ones that I probably have reading tastes most similar to are Haley Pham and Cassie's Books, because if I kind of get the vibe from them correctly, they gravitate mostly or mainly towards like romance books. And Gen Z, while I really do enjoy a lot of her like book videos and am very interested in reading a lot of the books she has read or has on like a TBR or whatever, I would say that she's more into like a dark romance or a fantasy, and I'm just like kind of recently dipping my toes into fantasy and haven't really gotten into dark romance. I guess you could say that I've like kind of, but the ones that I have read I feel are relatively chill. So they're not like dark romance. And just like that, I have completed all of the questions. I would love to hear your answers to some of the questions down in the comments, especially if you had similar answers to mine, because I love to have new people to talk about books with. And if you have your own channel, consider you making it to this point in the video a nomination for you to do this tag on your channel. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I'll make sure to have all the questions down in the description below. But that is all for today's video. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!